First this week, the Tories are embroiled in yet another farce of their own making as they try and prop up the collapsing Rwanda plan with authoritarian blue tack and matchsticks. Gavin, our old friend Ian Dunt said on Substack, they're trying to sound tough, but the reality is that they're double square fucked. He did a swear. It's all set up now. The road ahead is relatively clear. This is Brexit 2.0. What first played out as tragedy will now be conducted as farce. Why do they care so much about this after a resounding defeat? Why can they not let it go?
Well, I think I was trying to think exactly what could they be thinking about, and I've come to the conclusion that they're a bunch of political bedwetters. You know, when a kid wets the bed, they get a real sense of relief and a feeling of warmth, but then somehow a grown-up has to clean it up. And this, to me, is something very similar. They're not trying to solve this problem. I mean, who would have come up with the idea of, I know, let's send them to Ascension Island. No, we can't do that. Let's send them to Rwanda. And then say, we're going to pass a law to declare that Rwanda is safe. I mean, the only historical parallel I can think of that is when the papacy decided to tell Galileo in the 1630s or something, that he couldn't actually say that the Earth went round the sun. The sun clearly went round the Earth. And Galileo said, yeah, whatever, I'll do whatever you say. And then later he said, and yet it moves. It push si muove. They're trying to distract us with something that they know they can't solve. And it maybe makes them feel warm, and maybe they get a feeling of relief, but it's just going to go on and on and on. And I think it's very unlikely that anybody will end up being sent to Rwanda. But I could be wrong. They could be suddenly lucky and solve all our problems.
So, I mean, is what they're proposing here with this legislation and various workarounds, is it just the kind of the bow tie version of Lee Anderson's "fuck it, we're going to put them on the planes anyway" solution? Same instinct, but kind of slightly classier.
Well, I'm not sure that they're going to be able to do that. I mean, I don't think the House of Lords is going to swallow this. The courts certainly don't swallow it. And the idea, we're getting back to that narrative, we saw it before, about the enemies of the people and the prorogation of Parliament. The courts are one of the great checks and balances of our democracy that do seem to work. And they're prepared to ride roughshod, it would appear, over that. I think there are sufficient people within even the government who think this is batshit, including, I think, James Cleverly, who's supposed to have said it, although he hasn't actually confirmed that. So we will see where it goes. But I think they prefer a row to a solution.
No, I was just going to add really quickly. So I don't think they're trying to distract us with Rwanda. I think they're trying to distract themselves. It just strikes me as massive displacement activity where they know they're screwed and they don't know what to do about it. So they're kind of just like this one thing, and I felt like in a weird way it's quite relatable. It feels like a very human feeling to go, everything in my life is fucked. But if I build this IKEA cabinet, which is missing some screws, everything will suddenly magically be fine. And you're kind of like hammering at it in your bedroom because you're like, but this will fix everything. This will be fine. That's, I don't know, at least that's kind of what I'm seeing in the Rwanda.
But we're both talking about displacement activity, aren't we? I'm talking about wetting the bed. You're talking about building a cabinet. Whatever it is, it's not an attempt in a real world to solve problems. And, there's a brilliant book by a guy called Hinderhaas, who was a professor at Oxford, who's now professor at Amsterdam University, where he busts 22 myths about migration. One after the other, boom, 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 and talks about what you would need to do to address this problem. And it isn't anything that the government is ever talking about. So I think maybe they should read a book, find an expert.